In this lecture, we are going to test our load balancing setup. In order to do this, we will initiate multiple HTTP connections to the public IP address of our load balancer. The load balancer will evenly distribute the traffic to the backend pool virtual machines, so we should see alternatively both Web Server 01 and Web Server 02 landing pages. So let's switch over now to Azure Portal and investigate together our setup. First, let's take a look at our load balancer, and I will select load balancers from the left hand side portal menu. Let's take a look at our AZ900 load balancer, and I see that now more information is available. Looking at the top of the page, I see that the backend pool now displays two virtual machines in parentheses. Let's select backend pools under settings section and extend backend pool AZ900, and I'm now able to see my two web server virtual machines part of the pool. And as you can see in the last column for the load balancing setup, only the private IP addresses are needed, and the VMs are part of different availability zones as per our configuration. Let's take a look at the health probes menu as well, and I see that after defining the load balancing rule, I see that the last column used by has been populated as well with the load balancing rule name. One last thing before we test our setup, I like this feature very much and I want to show it to you as well. Let's select Insights under Monitoring section. Let's center the diagram. So this is the nice part. Azure will automatically build a diagram for you, which makes it easier to understand the environment. So the connection will first hit the load balancer front-end public IP address. Then we have the load balancing rule, which directs traffic to the backend pool. And last, Web Server 01 and Web Server 02 in this case that are part of the backend pool. Good, let's now test our setup. So I will go back to the overview page and I can take a look at the load balancer public IP address. Let's now take a look at our virtual machines. So I will select virtual machines and select Web Server 01. And if you take a look at the top information, as I've mentioned in the previous lecture, the load balancer public IP address has been populated here as well. So the VM public IP address is actually now the load balancer's public IP address. Let's take a look at Web Server 02 as well. And the same here, we have the same public IP address. So let's copy to clipboard the public IP address and open an HTTP connection in a new tab. And here is the landing page. If you start refreshing the page, you may get the web page of the other web server, but if this is not the case, just open a new HTTP connection in a new window running in incognito mode. If needed, refresh the page a couple of times and this way you will be seeing both landing pages. So load balancing has been confirmed and it is working as expected. Both web servers are serving content to end customers. Also, because we deployed the VMs in different availability zones, so different Azure data centers, if for whatever reason one availability zone fails, the application, the website in this case, will still be online for our users and the content will be served from the available data center. So really, that's all with load balancers for now. We don't need to go any deeper into this service. Thank you, and I will see you in the next lecture.